Hello everyone, my name is Rasmus. I am a helicopter pilot and today I'll be your simulator instructor here in the HELISIM. I believe we've talked about the system in the other videos, and if you haven't seen it already, please check that out. So yeah, today we're using the HELISIM H125 to do a practice flight in this CABRI G2. And so today we're going to have a look at the whole pre-flight check and also going through the starting the engine, and we're gonna do a little circuit training, and I'm just gonna show you how easy it is to use the system to basically practice your flying skills and keep them current in a way. So if you're wondering what this little gizmo is on my head, it basically allows me to look around, and that'll be useful when we're flying. It's called a track IR. You can also get one of those if you want. Most of the time I'm using a VR headset, but for the purpose of the video, it's a little bit easier to do like this. So let's get started. So we'll start off just doing a walk around and obviously removing these covers here. And you know, in real life, follow the checklist. Make sure that you've done a proper daily inspection on it and done your pre-flight checks and everything. I'll just kind of skip that because it's a simulation, of course. So when you get your HELISIM H125 here, you want to make sure that all the settings are set up, and just quickly you can check, you know, that everything is going in the right direction. Left pedal is left pedal, and likewise left, right, forward and aft there. Cyclic is working, throttle's working, and then of course the buttons need to be set up as well. So let's bring up the checklist. So the CABRI G2, it has like a user manual or like a pilot operating handbook, and in here you'll find the normal procedures checklist before starting an engine. So the first on the list is check your harness is secured. So we're checking ourselves and the passenger, make sure that the harness are secured and tight. Check the cockpit for any loose objects. So everything looking good here. Then we're checking our pedals are working, full right deflection, full left deflection. That looks alright to me. And then we're checking our collective. So looking at the controls, pulling all the way up, pulling down, throttle full open, and throttle full closed. Look good, and cyclic likewise left and right, forward and aft. That's all looking good. And next up is the breakers. So we're going to check that all of these breakers are in and all correct. We're checking our LT is armed, and we're checking the hour meter as well. Then we're checking while we're here, let's check the fuel is on. And after that we check the altimeter here. So we are at Redcliffe Airport right now in Australia, and that's pretty much by sea level. So that's pretty good. All switches up except strobe, and carb heat should be auto. So we'll set that. And master switch can come on. Then we put our NR switch to backup. Like this. We'll just switch that one on there. And we're now waiting for the self-check, EPM check, where it's just going to check if there's been any faults in the previous flights and so on. And we can hear the beep also working. Now we're checking the fuel and just making sure that the fuel is actually what we expected after refueling. And we see there's no warnings and everything's looking good. So we proceed to the next part, which is put your headset on. We already have that on, and turn on the radio. And we have the radio on here already, and we can now actually just put the transponder to standby. Standby there. I don't know why the knob is not turning up. Anyway, next up is checking the altimeter. We already checked that. The compass heading looks good. Next up, the strobe is on and fuel pump on. Then we need to do some manual fuel injections. In this case, it's not needed. In the real aircraft, if it was cold, we might do like 3 or something like that, just to pump a little bit of fuel into the engine. Rotor brake. So we're just checking now that the rotor brake light comes on. It does. So we'll put that back, and then we'll put the mixture forward. So we have the mixture on. And then next up is putting on the ignitions. So we're putting on plasma and magneto there, and Then we make sure the governor's off, and we turn on the starter. Just make sure before you start it that you have the MLI or throttle to close. See, if I rotate the throttle here, and you look at the MLI in the screen there, now it's 36%. You want to have it closed there, between 0 and 5, I think it says. And then let's try to start it. Alright, the engine is started. After the engine start, we want to check the oil pressure comes up right away. So right now it's showing low, and it's probably due to simulation, because in real life the oil pressure, if there's oil on it, which it should be, I'll just put that one on right away. The oil pressure should be high when the oil is cold. So let's see. Oh, okay, so it actually turned off on me there. Let's declutch it, and this off, and let's try again. There. So maybe it's because in simulation it wants a better throttle when we put it on. Let's try that. Yep, that was it. Interesting. Okay, so that's actually, I guess, also a little bit true to life, is that if you don't have enough engine power on while you clutch it in, then it might drag the engine to actually stall. So, but it's usually not that sensitive. But anyway, yeah. Next one, you check oil pressure and the oil temperature. So we're waiting for the oil temperature to become, I think it's 30 degrees. Yeah, so we can now go up to 400 RPM, if it'll let us. There, we're throttling up. And remember, we have the governor off at this point. The governor will otherwise take over and go up to full after 400. So we just want to wait until it reaches there 400 there, and just adjust the throttle as needed to keep it there. And around here, just let it stabilize for a second. Okay, so that looks good now. So now it's around 400, and then we do our plasma off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very minimal drop. In real life, you get a bit more of a drop than that. Now both on. So what we're looking for here is a drop in RPM, basically. So magneto coming off. 1, 2, 4, 5. So and there's so there's almost no drop there, which is interesting. But that's again just in the real aircraft you have a bit more of a drop in RPM when you turn either plasma or magneto off. But that looks perfect. Now we go up to just the start of the green band there to check our carb heats. So throttle up again, just around. So we're getting the green light there, and we're at about 520. So that's a good point to check the carb heat. So we're going hot first. And again, the simulation is very quick to just give us the break right away. But we see the drop in RPM as well, which is expected. In the real life, we probably wait a bit longer before that actually happens. Anyway, go down to cold. We now see the increase in RPM, which is indicating that the carb heat is working as it should. Get the green light because we're back in the green band, and that looks all good. So we can now turn our transponder to alt there, and we'll just do a radio check. So in this case we would say Redcliffe Traffic Helicopter Sierra India Mike radio check, and in real life someone will come back to me and say, I hear you 5, and that means our radio is working. So that's all good. So now we need to do a needle split. So we're just checking that the needles will actually split when I throttle down, which they do. That means that our spread clutch is working as it should. So now we just need to put the governor on and throttle up. So we just we are just taking this opportunity to just check everything again. All doors are closed and harness is secure, and we got the friction off our collector gear, and harness is secure and everything. So we'll turn on the governor. There you see the governor light come off, and hands on the controls, and we throttle up. So there we are. See the ramping up. That's good. We're just holding against the throttle in the real aircraft to make sure that it doesn't overdo it. This is looking good. Throttle is full here. And lights out. No warning lights. And temperatures and pressures in the green. Carbi we need to set to auto. There we go. Now it's in auto. And we've done a radio check, and the transponder is set, and harness secure, doors are locked, and area is clear. So ready for takeoff. So we will do our radio call. We will say Redcliffe traffic helicopter Sierra Indian Mike, taxiing from the grass to runway 07 for a circuit. So we start to lift up, and we just put in a bit of right pedal because it's the CABRI. 2-stage pickup. That means that we get light on the skids, as you can see here. We're just wibbling, and now we see it nose is left, so we need a bit more right pedal. And keep coming up. A bit more right pedal. There we go. Now we really light on the skids. And there. In there. So nice and gentle on the controls there, as you can see. I let it yaw a little bit to the left, so I'll just fix that, come back around. Now we do our CG check, so in the air that the CG is feeling good and the pedal position is noted and normal. We also check the RPMs are good, and the power check we check. So now we are hovering around 77%, which is normal. So that's all good, so we can proceed to taxi. It's a little bit dusty over in this area of the airport, I would say. And as helicopters, we can usually just kind of, within reason, taxi over the grass and stuff like that, but in this case we'll just follow the taxi line. And we're trying to keep about 3 feet hover. In case of an engine failure, we can quickly come down again. And we need to keep the speed down below effective translational lift, which means that we are still in ground effect hover when we're taxiing. Down a little bit. There. And while we're taxiing here, we'll just take if there's anyone in the circuit. Can't see anyone. We'll look down there, there's no one there. So we're clear to enter. So we'll just hover here for a second, and we'll say Redcliffe traffic helicopter Sierra Indian Mike, entering and lining up runway 07 for circuit, Redcliffe. And we'll check again, and it looks clear, so we'll enter here. Again, because we're helicopters, we don't need that much of a runway, so we'll just take off from here. And we can we can try to do a vertical or max power takeoff. So we just do our final checks, lights out, RPM in the green, fuel sufficient, and T-speeds in the green, switches up, and Carbi auto. Harness are secure, and doors are closed. There we go. Right, Redcliffe traffic, helicopter 0, Sierra India Mike, rolling off runway 07 for circuit Redcliffe. And we're filling power. Careful not to exceed 90% on above 30 knots. If you see it jumping around a little bit, it's just because the simulator is not liking the throttle. It's kind of lacking a little bit of inertia in the way. But anyway, we are flying and see our speed a little bit slow, so we want to climb at 60 knots. So we climb, so we're reaching 60 now, and we'll climb up. And once we get to 500, which we are almost now, clear right, clear above and below, and clear left. Good to clear left. So we'll keep the speed on, and we'll keep the climb going. So there we're reaching 800 and we'll just start to level off. So Redcliffe here we are using 800 feet circuits for helicopters. So now instead of climbing I'll use that power for our acceleration. There we go, 80 knots, and now I can ease down the power a little bit while maintaining my height. And we're just checking over again that if there's anyone who's taken off or anyone in the circuit. I don't see anyone, we're kind of alone today. So we're just maintaining 800 knots here in the circuit, and we'll do our downward checks, which is lights out, RPM in the green, and T's and P's in the green, fuel sufficient, switches up, Carbi is auto, harness are secure, doors are latched. And again checking the circuit, checking for any incoming traffic. That's all looking good. Oh, we're a little bit high now. I'll let it slow down, that's why. So as you might be able to see in the camera there that it's very small movements here that I'm doing to fly the aircraft, and that's pretty true to life. So this is a really good trainer where it kind of challenges you to fly very precisely, and when you get in the real aircraft that'll become easier for you. So we say Redcliffe traffic, helicopter Sierra India Mike, turns left base for runway 07 for a full stop, Redcliffe. And we'll just lower down the power here and keep the speed on. 30% MLI. Looks good, a bit steep descent there, but next step. Now looking at the airport over there. Alright, so we want to be at 50 at 500, and 40 at 400, and 30 at 300, pretty much, but it's just a guide. What really matters is that we look at the runway now and make sure that it's kind of in the right position in our windshield, which it looks about right now. We'll just keep you know, the speed on while we come in. We don't want to come into a hover out here. Right now I kind of let it slow down for a little bit too much now, so I think with flying on a 2D screen is that you don't have the depth perception as good, so I can really recommend the VR headset, because you get a much better feel of how far you are away from the runway and what corrections to make and so on. But this is looking pretty good so far. Coming into the numbers. So we're just racing a bit of collective while we slow down, and just gradually so that we don't have to do it all at once. Once you see the string start to come down in the windshield, then that means you are no longer in ETL, effective translational lift. It means that you're kind of getting into hovering. So we see here we're stopping and the string is going down, now we're in a hover. So that's good. We got the numbers, and let's depart the runway here, so we'll start taxiing forward. We'll probably come down a little bit here. We want to be, I don't know, 3 feet over there. Rail clear of traffic, helicopter Sierra India Mike, clear of the active runway, taxiing to heli parking Redcliffe. And we'll just kind of do air transit. So air transit is when you are doing a fast taxi, I guess. You have to say that on the radio. I'll just skip that for now. But yeah, I would say air transiting, and then you can fly at a out of effective translational lift like this. And we'll just do a quick step like this. Stopping, there we go. Bring in the power pedal. And let's use this pad over here. Nice and easy, small movements there. Got ground contact just down real slow. There we go. All the way down, and governor coming off, and then we're throttling down. There we go. So now we just, in the real life, we would let the engine cool down. This is the head temperature. As you can see, that's 220 degrees now coming down, so it should be down to 180 before we declutch, and just send the pedals down. But again, there's a checklist in the operations handbook, pilot operating handbook. And you start down, so that is collective down, friction on, and governor off, and engine cooling until 180 degrees. After that point, which it is now, we can take off the clutch, and after the clutch we wait 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we pull the mixture, and we just turn off these switches here. Plasma magneto. Now it states that we need to wait until 150, or the white arrow there, before we apply rotor brake. We can turn off the alternator and the pump. We can also switch off the landing lights and the nav lights. And we can also turn off the transponder and the radio. Actually, with the radio, usually leave it on while the rotors are spinning, just in case someone is trying to communicate to us or something like that. But we have less than 150 RPM, so we can use the rotor brake. And then we note down the time on our hour meter, and we note down the fuel and our maintenance release, and that's pretty much it. Last thing is just to turn off the master, and we'll release the rotor brake as well. I need to have that on. And that was it for this flight. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you're interested in the HELISIM system, if you haven't got it already, yeah, feel free to reach out and have a chat to us about it, and we can do a demo for you. So, thank you. Bye-bye.